Hey, it's Ricardo, and we are here at EA's pre-E3 event, and we're talking to executive producer Glenn Schofield, and he is going to show us the latest areas in Dead Space. So, Glenn, we've seen the game on and off. It's scary, it's bloody, it's in space, but you guys are showing off more, so tell us all about it.
Yeah, today we're going to be showing you the hydroponics area, which is actually Chapter 6 in the game. So you're midway through the game. What he has to do is, there's some poison going on. They're poisoning in the air, and they're taking over this area. So Isaac's job is to try and get rid of whatever's in there. We're going to be showing off a couple new enemies today. You'll see a new weapon, and maybe a puzzle if we get to it.
Now, where are we on the ship?
This is the hydroponics level, and the food is grown, all the vegetables, things like that are grown here.
And this area looks to be a little less distressed than the other parts that we've seen, yeah?
For now it is, yes it is. It's starting to be overrun, and there is another half to this, which we'll be showing later on, that is completely taken over. But you can see that the infiltration has started. So what he has to do here is, this is a paired attack. He needs to get rid of this guy. And we try and do it in as violent a fashion as we can. Some more necromorphs. He just used stasis on these guys, so he has a few seconds to slow them down. And the best way is to turn your gun to whatever you want to cut off. So that's best for cutting off legs. These guys are pretty smart and they're kind of fast. They know how to get away. Cutting off their legs is not always going to kill them. So stomp on them.
They do seem very driven for things that are half dismembered.
Well, they used to be human, so they still have some intelligence in them. And we'll show you later how they turn from humans into necromorphs. And you can see we leave a lot of carnage around.
Now, one of the other things, because the environment is so big, you guys have actually been really smart about letting people, get their bearings if they're not sure where to go. Now, how are you guys doing that?
Yes, we have what we call a locator, and it's actually sort of part of his rig and his ship here. So it shows you where you should be going, but you can actually change your objectives and switch locator to whatever objective you want to go to. Another feature is you'll notice there's no HUD. Everything is on his back and his rig, so his health bar is there, and so is the stasis meter. And later on, some of the air meters, things like that, they all show up in real time in the game. We wanted to completely immerse you in it. I can tell that they're having fun stomping.
Now, you've mentioned we're seeing we're seeing a new weapon and whatnot, but you guys have kind of there's an inventory, there's like a store system, right? You want to explain that to us?
Yeah, we have a store. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to it, but we have a store system throughout the game in which you pick up credits. You get credits, you find them, and you'll be able to buy different suits, buy different weapons, a lot of ammo, health, all kinds of things in this store system. We also have an upgrading system for your weapons, which we'll show more at E3. So here we got the flamethrower. It also has a nice alt fire, but since everything's dead, so he can shoot out a ball and try and let them crawl into it. Each weapon does have an alt fire that is completely unique to the weapon, and some of them are grenades, some of them are just different ways of shooting the weapon. They all come in handy.
Now, are we going to be finding the weapons as we're going about our business, or are we actually going to buy brand new weapons at the store?
I'm not going to go into too much detail, but part of it is searching and finding a bit that allows you to buy it at the store. We want you to explore this world. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting places. It's a big ship. It's well over a mile long, and people live here for a couple of years. So we kind of created it like it's city. So the hydroponics, it has a medical deck, flight deck.
Now, there seems to be a little counter on his back. What's going on there?
So you've noticed that we're in an area where the air is being poisoned, and it's being poisoned by that. What we call a poison pot. It's a human that's been turned into something horrible. So his air meter goes off. He needs to kill these things. There's a bunch of them around the area. Also, so now the air meter goes off, but these infectors, now these infectors are pretty cool. Their job is to go around, find dead bodies and turn them into other necromorphs. So you'll notice while he's being ravaged by one, the other one is turning the dead bodies into necromorphs. So we see them down here. If Chuck could show us. So you see him down there. He's just turned that guy. He's just grabbed another dead body and he's turning that into another enemy. Best thing to do. These are called super slashers. So they're pretty hard. So he's kind of slowed it down with stasis. And maybe he'll pick up that bomb and kill himself. What you want to do is you want to look around the world because you're not going to have a heck of a lot of ammo for some of these things. So we're back into this area. You can still see there's still some of the poison pods around. We'll get to those later. We still got to get to the air filtration system. And part of that is we have some pretty big puzzles in the game. But first he's got to take on these guys. This is a brand new enemy that we're introducing here. He's called the Exploder. Probably the best thing to do is use his body parts against him. So what he's just done is taken off his exploding sack, picked it up, and killed his buddies with his own. But you need to watch. These guys will run at you. They're kamikazes. They will still attack you even without that in different ways.
So if you're a good shot, you could theoretically detonate their sack before they get too close.
Yeah, what you really want to do, which is sort of a pro tip, is wait till a few of them get together, stasis one, so that they all kind of get together, and then blow them up. Because you're not going to have, boatloads of ammo going through this. So look around the world. Now we're coming into actually a zero-G area. So there's some places in the ship where we turn off zero-G to lift heavy items or for cargo bays, things like that. So you notice how the palette has changed. And what he's going to do is where you point, that's where you go in zero-G. So there's only a few places that you can land, and you'll know them. You'll see there's some areas that are pointed that you don't want to land anyway. He's using his telekinesis to actually open up these doors to kind of work his way through and get past the zero-G. So it's kind of cool. You are actually upside down. So when he lands, when he shoots and lands, actually turns right side up in gravity. Now, according to the signs, we are entering our fire puzzle. And they're more like objectives. What he needs to do is, get through this area. And we'll show you, some of the things that you need to do. There's a pattern, obviously, to these things. So what he wants to do is first shoot this out so the door works. But then we'll see quite soon, that's not what you want to do. So what you want to do is, when that goes on, hit stasis, give yourself that second of time, bust this open, run through the door, and get through the next one. So he makes it look pretty easy, but we've seen people try and figure this thing out, and it takes them a little bit. Oh, and just for good measure, we'll throw in a couple of necromorphs.
So what, are they fire resistant? There's fire there. They shouldn't be there.
They're not resistant. What's kind of cool is, if you saw him coming, what you would want to do is stasis him in the middle of that and then let him get burned. So again, we're kind of letting you try and figure out how you want to get through.
All right, very cool. Well, this is just a tiny bit of the game, which is very huge, and you guys are going to be showing a lot more of it off at E3 on our show. So until then, folks that are anxious for this game, when can they look for it?
This will be coming out on Halloween on the 360, PS3, and on PC.
All right, thank you, Glenn. I guess we're going to see you very soon.